Welcome back. As we continue to commemorate Women's Month, we take a look at the impact of women leaders in science and technology. 30 years into democracy, have the attitudes and the perceptions surrounding gender roles in these sectors changed? For more on this, we're joined by Head of Research and Development at the University of Pretoria. That's Dr. Rakeshnie Ramoutar-Prieschl. Dr. Rakeshnie, a pleasure to have you on the program this afternoon. So the focus of our discussion is on the impact of women leaders in science and technology. How have women's leadership roles evolved in these fields in recent years from your view, and what changes have you observed?
Thank you very much for the warm welcome, Njlanjla, and the question. Perhaps I'd share with you the global perspective right now. The World Economic Forum this year printed a report called the Global Gender Gap Report, and it shows that women in the workplace are steadily increasing in numbers since 2016. And in South Africa itself, we can celebrate, as you've said, rightfully so, 30 years into democracy. We've got the adoption of economic empowerment legislation, which provides equal opportunity for women in the marketplace. We've also seen the number of young women enter university increase, and also that they're rising against odds to high-ranking positions. Even in parliament, South Africa ranks in the top 3 countries globally on female representation in parliament. We currently have around 42% female representation. And what we're seeing is that women are now working in a wide range of industries and professions more than ever before that were once male-dominated, from engineering, information systems and technology, space science, even mining, which was once deemed a simple male-dominated sector. And I think we need to also say that these strides and these seismic shifts in perceptions actually are a true accolade to some of the historic women that have paved the path before.
So according to the World Economic Forum, women are underrepresented, especially in STEM roles compared to non-STEM sectors. What would you say are some of the systematic barriers contributing to this underrepresentation that we speak of, and what can be done to address them?
Yes, thank you very much, and I totally understand the President has spoken. This stems largely from early childhood development, actually, where gender biases, discrimination, and stereotypes are indoctrinated into the very core of our society. And the simple statement is science is for boys. And we see this in the statistics because, as I've indicated, yes, we see more girls entering universities at the undergraduate level, but they remain underrepresented in the workforce at 30%. And as female researchers start climbing up the ladder into more senior roles, I'm terming it or calling it the drop to the top, we find female researchers just dropping in numbers. We see this as an example that women in South Africa, out of the 26 universities, only 7, that's 27% of vice chancellor and principal positions are held by women. 40% of directorships at state-owned entities are women, 36% at professional services industries, and 27% in JSE-listed companies. And these are barriers from discrimination, lower pay, inflexible work policies, and competing messages around leadership roles. And it's simply because women and the biological clock is in direct competition with their career path trajectory. So whilst women are taking time out to have babies, nurture the family environment, we see that men are at the same age are soaring in their career goals. And oftentimes women feel that they're not giving their best on both sides. And again, this causes another level of discrimination.
So this drop that we speak of, the drop to the top, it is a phenomena highlighting a significant disparity between entry-level and leadership positions for women in STEM. What strategies or initiatives do you believe are essential, if you will, to support women's advancement into higher-level roles within the STEM fields?
A lot can be done. And I think as an example, it starts again, and I go back to women and where we come from. in our cultural societies. A 12-year-old girl and a 12-year-old boy with the same skill sets and aptitude, they could both be having 100% in maths and all the other science subjects and the same interest in technology. But the moment they come to saying, should I pursue a STEM career or a STEM pathway as I move into high school, the first thing is a boy can name a number of heroes in the science career path, from astronauts to, people pursuing ICT. You've got the Googles, you've got the Apples, and we're looking and saying, what about the girls? Who can they find as role models? And I think it starts, I know we're going to talk about policies and we're going to talk about maternity leave being converted to parental leave and the duration of it. But I think for a country like South Africa, developing a middle-income country, we need a whole of society approach. We need everyone to come on board. We need to educate ourselves from the beginning to unlock some of the solutions to breaking the stereotypes, the unconscious bias and discrimination, and also about teaching boys and girls from a very young age about respectful behaviors towards women and girls. And, and this means finding the role models in society and celebrating them at home, in schools, in churches, in societies, because this shapes the values, the perceptions and behaviors of the next generation of men and women. And I'm convinced that this is one of the solutions to addressing the pandemic of gender-based violence we see in our country.
There's also been a mention of the digital divide and its impact on women as well. How does this digital divide affect women's, call it their participation, especially in technology sector? And what key measures can be taken to bridge this gap, if you will?
Yes, I think technology has the potential to be a powerful equalizer, providing us, regardless of geographic or socioeconomic status, we can all have access to the Internet of Things and start up our businesses. But there's also something called the gender digital divide, which sits around 33% in the least developed countries in the world. And as an example, in South Africa, we face various barriers to this, from socioeconomic factors to cultural norms, structural inequalities. As an example, when you look at a woman in rural areas and low-income communities, they have limited access to computers, smartphones, or reliable internet connectivity, and we also pay an exorbitant fee for data. And so this allows us, or women, actually, to be disempowered, because a lot of times in South Africa, 42% of small and medium-sized enterprises are women-led businesses. They're sustaining households. They are taking care of children or grandchildren. So if someone wants to start a little business selling biscuits or vetkoek, they need access to the Yoko machine. They need access to the internet. They need banking and entrepreneurial skills. They need proficiency and access to digital tools, online banking. And I gather when we embrace economic empowerment in this way, we start creating and promoting sustainability across local, national, and global levels.
Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Rakeshnie Ramoutar-Prieschl, really sharing her insights on the impact of women leaders in science and technology.